Well, I am officially a Brazilian citizen now. You might be thinking, well, you've been there for more than 10 years. What happened? You see, when you come to Brazil, in case you decide to stay, uh, you would have to apply for citizenship. Okay, you could have the, foreign status, be a resident, but if you don't apply for citizenship, they wouldn't give you. There are people that have been living for, 20 years, 30 years, they are still foreigners here in Brazil. So it means you would have to apply. The minimum number of years that you need to stay in Brazil before you apply is 4 years, okay? But I think that rule changes for those coming from Portuguese-speaking nations like Angola, like Timor-Leste, like Cape Verde, São Tomé and Príncipe, Mozambique, and so on and so forth, okay? But if you are coming from another, a French or an English-speaking country, you would have to spend 4 years within the Brazilian territory and legal, okay? That's a point that you have to consider. So if in case your visa expires, it means that that period that you're staying is illegal, so it's kind of not counted, okay? So you need to have a valid visa, and you are living within the Brazilian territory legally for you to be able to apply after 4 years. Okay, so it took me a long time. I didn't actually had this intention to become a Brazilian citizen. It had never occurred to me when I landed in Brazil that I was going to stay this long, okay? The objective was to study and then leave. And all of a sudden, things started changing. I started getting involved with much studies, doing my master's, doctorate now, and before I knew, I was almost living my life here in Brazil. So I'm almost living my adulthood here in Brazil. I'm getting old, so I think there is no reason why I shouldn't become a Brazilian citizen. Yes, last year I decided to apply for the citizenship. It took about a year. It took about 11 months to be approved, actually. But, let me tell you something. I had applied for Brazilian citizenship, I think it was in 2020 or 2019, thereabout. No, in 2020-21, I applied for the citizenship. So, but that time I didn't have all the documents. What is very important here in Brazil is the criminal record. Okay, that's one of the most important documents when you are applying for citizenship. It comes from your country, it has to be stamped by the embassy. So I remember that I made a mistake in applying for the first criminal record. It came from my city. I didn't know that it had to come from Lagos, right? So when I applied for it, it went through the steps. You have different steps when you apply. So it got to a stage where that particular document was requested. That's the criminal record. They said that, the criminal record I had provided was not valid. So they asked me to provide it within 10 days. How is it possible to get a criminal record within 10 days, When I saw it, I gave up. So my expectation was, it would be, let's say, I wouldn't be granted the citizenship of Brazil, but somehow they would close the process and I could apply again. But it was still on the system for a long period of time. I wanted to apply, but it was still there. I contacted some people. I tried to, get someone on the platform to talk about that specific problem, but there wasn't anything I could do about it. So I looked for a traveling agency, an agency that has specialization on getting foreigners, Brazilian citizenship. So I contacted one agency, and they told me they could solve the problem for me. I was like doubtful because I had tried all the steps to get rid of the process on the system. Brazil has an integrated legal system. So you have the processes there, you can see them, the stages. So I tried to get rid of that process so that I could start another one afresh, but it wasn't possible. So this agency said they could help. I said, okay. And then I signed a contract, and they decided to, start a new process. I was very surprised because when I gave them my details, I signed the contract, and they collected my password, my username for that particular system for application, right? For the application of the citizenship. So one day I just logged in, and I saw that nothing was there. And I gave them all my documents. They did the application for me, right? So after that, I just waited for the process to go on. I never was requested any document because since that's their specialization, they did everything, accordingly. And I just waited until last week. They called me at the agency to announce that I had been granted the citizenship of Brazil. So I was very happy. I needed that because I've been living here for more than 10 years. And basically, my life is here. My daughter, my wife, and I study here. I also work in some things. I've kind of established myself in Brazil. So why not, become a full citizen, have the documents, and be able to work like any Brazilian. So I'm really happy. In case my viewer comes to Brazil and you decide to stay and maybe apply for citizenship, you should be very careful so that you can apply once. Okay? It's free of charge, the application. They have a system. It's called gov.br. That's the website. So when you go in there, there is the application form. But I said one of the most important documents is the criminal record from your country. So if you have that, you can go in there, put all the necessary documents, but before you apply, you have to read, what is required so that you would have all the documents at hand. Go in there, you apply for it, and then you are safe, right? Because I had to pay. It cost me 3,500 reals, something that could have been free of charge, okay? So I believe that you wouldn't make that mistake, okay? So now I am fully a Brazilian citizen. I am very happy for this achievement. It wasn't really easy. I love this country. It's the first country that I have resided fully, spoken to people, interacted, apart from my country, which is Nigeria. And I don't dream of traveling to other places to live. To me, it's sufficient to live in Brazil. Maybe if I have opportunities in the future, I might travel to countries in Africa because that's my home. So I desire traveling to other countries in Africa, and getting experiences, even if it's working opportunities that I have, to go visit those countries. walk, I am really open to that. But traveling to other countries, you know, in different other different continents, I have no intentions, right? So I consider Brazil my second home. The first is Nigeria, of course. That was where I was born. It's in my blood, in my behavior, the way I see things, the first formation, and my values too. And let me say, I've learned so many things living in Brazil. It's a diverse country. You are not expected to have, let's say, a certain view, let's say something fixed about Brazil, because you could see different, you know, perspective of life here. You have different cultures, you have different behaviors, you have different, you know, everything is different. Everything about the people of Brazil is different. So you would be surprised to find different things here when you come. And it's understandable because it's a mixed country. It has a large diversity, very absurd, and in general it's welcoming, right? I developed myself a lot here. I traveled to almost all the big regions that I've lived in South. Lastly, I lived in the Southeast, that's the Sudeste, that's the commercial center of Brazil. It was really wonderful. You know, I saw the diversity and you know, the differences. I reside in the Northeast. That's the northeastern part of Brazil. The only region that I've not visited is the northern region. That's the heartbeat of Amazon, right? But I think when I finish my studies, I would try to visit some parts of Brazil to know, you know, relax my head and see if I can, you know, enjoy myself a little bit. I've been studying a lot, and you know, I need to relax a little bit too. Yeah, but in general, I am really happy for what has happened, and you know, it's an achievement to me, something that I've never imagined, becoming a citizen of Brazil. It's an honor. Yeah, so that's the video for today. See you in the next video.